Hey Internet, it's your old friend Dominic here with the All-American Casino Guide, a channel dedicated to providing all the tips, tricks, tutorials, and trivia that you want to know about casinos and casino games. If you're serious about gaming, you're going to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell because it's the only way you're going to get all the videos and notified about them as they become available. Don't miss out. Don't be a slouch. Subscribe. Today, we're going to be talking about terminology in respect to raising and re-raising. So first, let's talk about what exactly a raise and a re-raise is. So in respect to the terminology, you actually need to first understand what a bet is. The first option that a player has to actually increase the pot is called the bet. The first player to act is the one who is placing the initial bet. Then subsequently, if you want to increase the bet, that is called a raise. And then if somebody decides to increase a raise even further, that term is known as a re-raise. So understand these three terms first before you go any further, because it's going to be fundamental in your further understanding of what the hell I'm talking about. It's important, though, you understand the structure of every particular game you're playing, because every game of poker will have either fixed limits, no limits, or pot limits regarding how much you're able to actually raise. So understand those ideas and you'll understand what your maximum option is as regarding to the bet size. As mentioned, there are three types of betting structures: fixed limit, pot limit, and no limit. The easiest thing to understand is with no limit, the name as it applies is there is no limit to the size of any bet or any raise. The only general rule is that any raise needs to be at least the amount of the previous raise. So if a player bets $50 and then someone raises it $10 to $60, then the subsequent players who wish to re-raise are obligated to raise by at least $10 because that was the raise from the previous raise. Regarding fixed limit, though, the table will actually have a fixed small bet, big bet option, and depending on which particular round you find yourself in the particular game you're playing, either draw, stud, or community games such as Hold'em or Omaha, you're going to see a fixed amount that you're allowed to actually raise by. So make sure you know the table rules before you sit down so that you don't make an idiot of yourself, or make a fool of yourself, rather. So now a lot of times people refer to one bet, two bet, three bet, or so on. And there's a bit of a misconception about what exactly is the one bet, what is the two bet, so on and so forth. So I'm going to just go ahead and kind of clear up the mystery associated with this particular piece of terminology. The one bet is simply the first player to actually make a bet. As I've discussed earlier, the first player to make a bet is the betting player. So we call that the one bet. Then subsequently, the second player, the player who then has to decide if they want to raise, that's the two bet. So the first player to get an option to raise, that would be the two bet. The three bet would be the player who has the first option to re-raise. So the three bet being the first re-raise, the fourth bet being the subsequent second re-raise, and the fifth bet, so on and so forth, being the third, fourth, fifth, so on and so forth. Betting option. So it's just a system of chaining one bet to the next and understanding how the pot got to its particular size over the course of bets. So now you understand, and knowing's half the battle. Another term that is commonly thrown around any poker table is the limping raise or limp re-raise. So this essentially is a situation where a player is likely trying to play a high value hand such as ace-ace, king-king, something along that, a high pocket pair, or some really good suited connectors like ace and king, all right? So what essentially it means is a player is going to limp in pre-flop and then subsequently when raised is going to re-raise. So you first telegraph that your hand is not so strong. You're just going to match the bet, and then when another player goes and raises the bet, you then act very aggressively by re-raising them. This is known as the limping re-raise. Another term that sometimes gets thrown around the table is the back raise. The back raise is any situation where a player just makes their initial bet pre-flop, and then once the flop comes, they then are going to make a strong move by making a heavy bet or waiting their turn to do a re-raise, essentially sucking players in and really aggressively stating at the table, I have the best hand, so if you want to see my cards or if you want to see any more cards, you're going to have to pay for it. So that concludes this terminology video that tried to dissect raising and re-raising. I hope you found it really informative. Go ahead and leave a comment down below and hit that like button if you haven't already. My name's Dominic. This is the All-American Casino Guide reminding you, play responsibly. Hey guys, me again. Just for a quick reminder, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And while you're at it, go ahead and ring that bell because it's going to get you all the notifications of any new videos we have coming in the near future. While you're at it, check out our backlog of videos. We have so many great ones. For example, check out Omaha. It's one of my personal favorites. Hey, and we're also going to be posting a video real soon all about betting strategies when it comes to betting and re-raising in poker.